State of Texas.
Well, I was a no on the bill on Monday, and I'm still a no on the bill. And I would encourage people to read the bill before they vote again. You know, when you see here provisions like the Secretary will do that, this and that, as the Secretary determines. Secretary will sell, as the Secretary determines. We have never, in the history of this country, the United States that is, given that kind of authority to anyone. Now, if you go back clear to 1776, December 27th, the Continental Congress gave that much authority to George Washington because they were afraid that the soldiers would not re-enlist. So basically they passed a bill giving Washington, unsolicited, mind you, the power to pay whatever he had to pay, do whatever he had to do to save this effort at this experiment in democracy. And now, a little over 200 years later, we are taking that a huge step backwards. Of course, as a Republican, we were proud of the negotiating, and if you read through the bill, you will see that there is the insertion for an FDIC-styled insurance to be added as an option. And if you look, the first word is if. Basically, the Secretary decides he wants to do that, but he's made clear he didn't want to do that. So it really didn't do a lot of good to add that. So all of those concerns come into play. And then plus what Steve had said about, you know, they're pushing an affirmative duty on the Congress to clean this up. But the Secretary, in the meantime, goes on unfettered. Well, since this country started, since the Constitution in 1787, this country's never done anything like this, given this much power to one person. I pushed for over a week to find out who's going to manage these assets. Huh? We were told by Secretary Paulson they'd be the best, most professional asset managers in the country. Well, you get the picture. You read through here. He is going to, as he determines, pay such as he feels like is appropriate for whatever he thinks is going to prop up a bank anywhere in the world. And then he's going to hire asset managers, and there's a provision in here for avoiding conflicts of interest, supposedly, and they encourage him to avoid those. He's going to hire advisors. He's going to hire people to manage these. And I had someone much lower than Mr. Paulson indicate, well, come on, Congressman, you surely have to realize we'll have to outsource that. You get the picture? We're going to pay billions, hundreds of billions to Wall Street for things they didn't handle very well, and then we're going to pay them billions more in order to manage those assets that we just bought from them. There's a lot of concern, and the only thing that I'm seeing right now that's on the forefront as a possibility is at least the reining in that Steve LaTourrette's amendment does. I'll still be a no on the bill because it's just wrong to our principles of American democracy to give one person this kind of power. And for Republicans that say, I think we can trust Paulson, well, do you know who you can trust come January, come February? Do you know who that is? Does that give you concern? It ought to give concern to Republicans and Democrats alike because it's just against our principles in this country. So I support Steve and I appreciate his efforts, all the stuff that was added in here to try to buy votes. And thank you, Steve, and thanks for letting me say my piece here.
Thank you very much, Louie.